Hello guys! Recently I made a video talking about the best preludes for every corporation, and in the same vein today I'm going to discuss the best single card to have in your opening hand for every corp. Just one quick note, I banned AI Central and Earth Catapult from this list, as I want to be at least a little creative here and not just repeat myself over and over. Let's get started. The first corp is Aphrodite, and that's immediately a tough choice. I think I'm going with Soulful Exports. It's not a card that you want to play immediately, but since you're going to play some Venus cards with this corp, and since there's one on the corp already, this will be worth playing quite early on. With Arcadian communities you want to play a ground game, and it's probably best to start off with a good early game city that you can pay for with steel. I really like Research Outpost, as you don't need power prod to get it down, and it's also great economically. With Eridor, I'd probably pick a card with 3 tags on it, something like Research Outpost. You get really good development, a city, and the great effect of this card. But another choice would be Interplanetary Trade. With this corp you want to play a lot of tags anyways, and together with this card you can end up with insane MC prod after just a few gens. When you play Ecozone with Arclight, suddenly every plant or animal tag basically has 1 additional point on it. Of course, you cannot play it immediately, but normally you're not going to play a lot of plant or animal tags in the early game anyways, so yeah, go for this combo whenever you can. Astrodrill really thrives when you get a strong asteroid card, and Comet Aiming is the strongest one. With this corp, it basically lets you place an ocean for free each gen, and when you run out of placeable oceans, you can use the asteroids on your corp to get some titanium. After that, the game should be done anyways. With Celestic, I really like Aerial Mappers. If you have no other playable floater card, it allows you to draw a card to look for one each gen together with your corp. But if you then get another floater card, for example something that allows you to increase Venus or straight up earns you points, you are able to place 2 floaters on it for free each gen. What better card to play with Junction Mars than Research Outpost? It's a great card with any corp, but with this one you get a discount on it, and it also leaves you with a 3 MC discount on every building tag and a 1 MC discount on all other cards. Great stuff. With Credicore I'm going with Spin-off Department. You already love playing expensive cards because of your insane 4 MC rebate, but with this incredibly broken card you also draw a card whenever you play one that costs more than 20 MC. Also, who the hell designed Spin-off Department anyways? Just 1 MC but less than Acquired Company, you can pay for it with steel and you get this insane effect. It just feels incredibly overpowered. What's Ecoline's biggest weakness? Well, besides your meager starting capital, it's the fact that your plans get nuked all the time if you're unlucky. What fixes that? Protected Habs, of course. By far the best card for Ecoline. It means you probably get 2 or 3 greeneries more by the end of the game, and are also able to sequence your turns better, grab better rebates, or place your greeneries next to your cities, as you're no longer required to immediately convert your plans each time you have 7. With Factorum, cards that can use up power directly are really cool, as then you can use your ability to increase power prod again. The best card for this purpose is High Tech Lab. With this card you can spend as much power as you like and not that many cards. You can only keep 1, but this is still an amazing action. And for Factorum, it basically means that no matter how much power prod you have, you can use all your power with this card and increase your prod once more if you want to. Let's talk about Helion. Morehole Area is already one of the best early game cards. It allows you to grab a good ocean rebate early on and gives you a temperature step every other gen. With Helion you also get the flexibility from being able to use your heat as MC. So what's not to like? If you get Media Group with IC, your normally pretty mediocre bonus suddenly feels insanely strong. A rebate of 5 MC for every event played is so much fun. The only downside is that your opponents probably will never pass you any events after you played it. Terraforming is one of the best cards in the game, and with Enantrix you can get it down 1 or 2 gens earlier. There's no question that this is the best card for this corp, so let's get to the next one. I'm going with Ice Asteroid for Lakefront Resorts. If you play this in the early game, you get insane development, can claim the best ocean placement bonuses on the map immediately. Truly a great start. You could go with any good production card as menu tech, but I'm going with Mining Rights. Playing this with menu tech gives you really good flexibility, as you can get a really strong rebate, and if you sequence your turn right, it can allow you to play another great card with that payback. Well, we just talked about mining rights and how strong it is with menu tech, but with mining guild it is just OP. Play it on titanium and you get 1 steel and 1 titanium prot, plus the rebate. Crazy value. There's not really anything that combos with the ability of Mon's insurance, so the only thing you want is a strong economy, so that you basically swim in cash and just don't care about the 3 MC you have to pay whenever someone loses resources. I really like lunar exports, as with that you end up with an insane 9 MC prot after the first gen. There are 2 cards that I have in mind for MSI. Venus Waystation will allow you to get all your Venus techs down easier and sets you up to get insane combos going. But Venusian Animals is probably the strongest Venus payback card, and you can play it earlier than anyone else. Truly a hard choice. Pharmacy Union is easy. Research. The only card with 2 science tags. It immediately removes 2 disease resources from your corp and also draws your cards. That's another chance to draw a playable science tag to flip your corp over and start the game off with 5 more TR than your opponent. With Phalaris, I'm picking Nuke Zone. This is one of the best early game development cards anyways, and with this corp you can really screw someone over and even benefit from it. Also, it allows you to teleport, meaning that you don't have to convert your plants next to your free greenery, but instead go somewhere else on the map to get great rebates. My pick for the best card with Phobolock is IO Mining. First, you are one of the few corps that can immediately play it. Second, you need the Titanium prot to benefit from your ability throughout the game. And third, the cash prot is also really nice because more often than not, other players won't pass you good space cards, so you need some MC prot to play other stuff. Also, the Jovian multiplier is great, since it immediately makes a whole class of space cards much better. With Point Luna, it should be clear that my pick is going to be an Earth tech. My favorite is Business Network. It's cheap to get down, you immediately draw a card with your ability, and you can continuously fish for more Earth techs with it. With Polyphemus, I'm going with Spin-off Department again. Same as with Credicore, you want to play expensive cards. As for those, paying 2 MC more to buy them is only a small increase in price, percentage-wise. And then Spin-off Department will help alleviate your biggest weakness and will allow you to draw cards for free. Poseidon can place a colony for free, and normally you cannot place another colony on the same planet. But there are 2 cards in the game that allow you to do that, and of these 2 I think Research Colony is the better one, especially in the early game. I really love this card, and of course if there's a strong colony in the game, such as Pluto or Luna, it is just amazing. Prystar is a corp with which you want to adhere to a certain playstyle. You want to play a long game, and basically all continuous or low impact terraforming cards are much worse for you. That means that although card draw is very good for you, a lot of the cards you draw are just dead for you. So I really like Inventor's Guild with Prystar. You do not have to pick up the cards that you don't want, it's cheap to get down, and the science tag will be useful later down the line. When you play Recyclone, you normally get a free plant prot after every 3rd building tag. But when you have Extreme Cold Fungus, you can get 1 plant prot for free each gen, if you just play 1 building tag. That's insanely good. With Robinson Industries, I need to go with Electro Catapult. You have no problem getting it down, as you can increase your power prot cheaply, and you have no problem keeping it running, as you can increase both steel and plant prot, and also keep them up, even if you get hit by hate cards. Also, Electrocat allows you to profit off of otherwise useless plant prot in the early game, so that you can increase titanium or steel prot again. Same as with Phobolock, I need to pick IO Mining with Saturn Systems. You cannot play it in the first gen, but it's just so incredibly powerful for you that it is totally worth just skipping the first gen in its entirety to play this in the second gen. One of the weaknesses of Septum Tribus is that you're almost never a contender for the Senate leader, since most of your delegates are spread out over the different parties. This means that often you only have 1 or at most 2 influence. So what better card than an event analyst? This card makes the negative global events way less painful and can really pay off after a few gens. Another great card for Septum Tribus is Research Coordination. With this one, you have 2 wild tags immediately, which helps enormously with playing all kinds of combos. Splice really wants to get a few good microbe cards going, stuff like ECF, Decomposers, Venusian Insects or Regolith Eaters. And one card that will help enormously with all of those is Viral Enhancers. After you played this card, you'll immediately get 2 microbes on each card that you play out, as well as 2 MC. That's really strong. Similarly to Celestic, I'm going to pick Aerial Mappers for Stormcraft. Basically, just the same reasoning. You all know what's coming with Terraforming, Earth Office. Together with this card you get a rebate of 6 on every Earth tag, and some of the best development cards and space events are Earth tags. Of course, no one will want to pass you any after playing Earth Office, but that just means that you're getting otherwise insane cards, and also Earth Office is so incredibly cheap that it pays off after just one Earth tag with Terraforming. Terra Labs really need some help to get going, so Indentured Workers or Conscription are great. But also, Inventor's Guild is really strong, as you benefit from your ability when using this card. With Tharsis, you're going to want to place some cities. Of course, you don't want to overdo it as well. That's what most newer players do. Cities alone do not give you any points, and they also, even with Tharsis, do not give you amazing development. But if you get Immigrant City early on, cities just become insanely profitable. Cupola suddenly gives you 5 cash prod, which is really good. So yeah, Immigrant City is probably the best card for Tharsis. Thorgate, Strip Mine, that's easy. Getting Strip Mine down can be quite hard or costful for other corps, but it's no problem for Thorgate, and you just get insane development from it. UMI really wants a card that allows it to regularly and cheaply increase its TR, and what better choice than Mohole Area. Not too expensive to get down, and it allows you to increase the temperature every other gen for free. Of course, Aquifer Pumping gives a TR step each gen, but it's quite expensive, and in the same vein, getting an oxygen bumper going can require a huge investment. There really isn't any card that combos with Utopia Invest, but I still have a specific card in mind. Spin-off Department, and not just only because I think this card is busted. A, you'd have to get some MC prod, because this gives you flexibility with your ability. B, the flexibility you get from your ability allows you to play expensive high-impact production cards like IO Mining or Strip Mine earlier, so you love the effect of Spin-off Department to draw some cards. And C, the building tag is quite nice to get closer to Builder, as probably one of your only few good milestones. Valley Trust is one of my favorite corps, as 3 preludes means that no 2 games with this corp are the same. The ability is a bit on the weaker side, but I love to play research with it. Paying only 7 for that card is just insane. Okay, so at the start of the video I told you that I was banning AI Central and Earthcat, but for Byron I have to make an exception, because AI is obviously without question and by far the best card for Byron. If you have this on your starting hand, then you absolutely need to do anything to get it down. Let's get to the last corp of today's video, Vitor. I really love this corp and I really love Natural Preserve, and these two are a match made in heaven. Good development, a point that enables your rebate, and you also can place a tile to get a placement bonus. And oh, did I mention the building and the science tag? Great stuff all around. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed my video on the best cards for every corp, and if you did, please leave a like and consider subscribing. Also, follow me on Twitch where I stream Terraforming Mars all the time. See you in the next one.